Welcome to episode 5 of the Dungeon series, Healing Made Easy, and today we're going straight into 1000 Maws of Toto Rak. I'm sure you're wondering what difficult mechanic they've decided to throw at you this time. Well, fortunately for you, this dungeon is an absolute walk in the park. So I'll explain the brief boss mechanics and providing a visual guide to the dungeon. Let's establish the basics moving forward, as before long you'll have your job quest and your very own gimmick for your class. As by now I'm sure you're aware, you currently only have 2 attacks. Your single target damage accompanied with your dot attack with no cast timer. So we should be applying these while on the move. If you're like me and play Astrologian, you should also be casting light speed whenever possible, as this allows you to cast your single target damage on the go. But wait, there's more. Seeing as we're a healer and not a DPS, we also have at our disposal a single target heal and our AoE target heal, the bread and butter of healing early dungeons. On top of that we have our OGCD heal for emergencies, or to let the tank sweat it out while we do damage and then heal them. However, what we haven't yet covered is the ability to play God and raise players from the dead. If your tank pulls too much, or your DPS decides to lay on the floor and take a nap, you may want to cast Raise. To avoid the 8-second average cast timer, you're going to want to cast Swift Cast first and then Raise. This will allow you to completely ignore the 8-second cast timer and immediately get them up and possibly avoid a complete team wipe. With all this in mind, you can play healer and follow the basic formula for all healers below level 30. Congratulations! Now, running through this dungeon is simple. Apply sprint and keep up with the tank. Cast your dot on any adds along the way. When the tank stops, for the party to remove the adds, use light speed, heal the tank and wipe the adds. It's that simple. Follow this process until you reach the first boss. Coral Ninetales is a simple fight. The only issue you have as a healer is they will cast poison, dealing dot damage. However, it's so minuscule and small you can completely ignore Essener. Bad practice I know, but there is no point this early on, and just simply heal through it and keep the attack up. However, what's worse is you will complete this fight twice. The only difference is Coral Ninetales will summon 2 adds that will be ignored and die upon their master's death. From here, proceed down yet another winding path, sprinting to keep up with the tank. Eventually you will hit a wall where adds have to be wiped before you can proceed to the boss. On this occasion you may want to keep hold of your OGCD for the boss fight, depending on its cooldown timer. Once you've reached the final boss, you'll be pleasantly surprised it's not another Ninetales, but instead Graphius, the angry scorpion hell-bent on your demise. So let's break this boss down. There are puddles of green goo surrounding the area that inflict the leaden debuff, slowing players' movement. Solution? Stay out of the green goo. Silkscreen, a line AoE targeting a random player, prepare to avoid and heal as necessary. Sticky Web! Graphius targets a random player, dealing minor damage and spawning an untargetable fleshy pod. Do not try to attack it, you cannot destroy it. After a few seconds, that ad will explode with a pod burst, dealing moderate damage and a circle AoE and inflicting any players hit with it with poison, which we've covered already. You can either cast Essener if you're that desperate, or just simply heal through it. At 50% HP, the boss will summon 4 Cosmo adds and the skin on its tail will fall off as an additional target, unlocking another attack. Killing the tail will remove the attack and give the boss vulnerability for up to 60 seconds. However, if your team is quick enough, you won't need to even attack the tail and just can keep hitting Graphius directly, avoiding the additional attack. Deadly Burst, a player will be targeted and a large green poison puddle will be placed at their position. That inflicts the pollen debuff, dealing damage over time to any players standing in it. Once again, if a player does acquire the debuff, you can simply cast Heal or Essener and you will be fine. This boss has a lot of minor annoying attacks that once you've completed the fight a couple of times will feel rather lackluster. Proceed through the fight, slinging heals and keeping your dot active on the boss and throwing any attacks when possible. With all this in mind and understanding the boss mechanics, you'll be flying through this in no time with all your healer classes. After we've beaten Graphius, we'll be entering Huck Manor, where we'll get a sneak peek at what it means to go from a class to a job and all of the perks it entails. With that in mind, enjoy the rest of the video, and we'll see you in Huck Manor, a dungeon of collecting keys, succubi and floating eyes. If you've enjoyed the video, then please like, subscribe, leave a comment and stay tuned for further dungeons and part 6 of our Healer's Guide. Thank you for watching.